This is Will Powers, Inverse News, Nostalgia for the Present. Memorial Day weekend is over and people went out in droves rather, enjoying the sunshine and warm weather. Cooped up in our homes for almost 2 months now, hiding from a hidden enemy that is lurking all around us. We want to get out and do whatever with whomever. I mean, what are we under? House arrest until further notice? What was our crime? Being a law-abiding citizen? Am I right? I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but tell me, when in the history of diseases, take the Hong Kong flu or the Spanish flu, or take the bubonic plague, for God's sakes, whatever. When did they start putting healthy people in quarantine and let criminals out of jail to protect them from the coronavirus? You heard about this? I mean, I'm astounded. You take these crazy lockdown rules. In Los Angeles, California, the beaches will reopen on Wednesday, but only for surfing, running, walking, and swimming. So you can walk on the wet sand, but you can't sunbathe on the dry sand. And they're thinking of extending the stay-at-home orders through August. Beachgoers are also required to wear masks when not in the water, and they better be moving. You know what this says to me? You can go to the beach, but you better not enjoy it by languishing in the sunlight. On the East Coast, their rules are the exact opposite. People are allowed to languish on the beach, but they are not allowed to go for a swim. In New York, Mayor Bill de Blasio opened the beaches, but no swimming. The guards will be out to enforce the rule if you break it, like you might catch COVID-19 from a sea salt wave. Furthermore, you will be required to wear a face mask in the open air where you are least likely to catch the virus. About 150 parks workers, backed up by hundreds of NYPD cops, will be on hand to make sure the social distancing rules are strictly enforced. A COVID-19 doctor recently came out that showed it is not as easy to catch COVID-19 as the media led everyone, and Dr. Fauci led everyone on to believe. Dr. David Price, Weill Cornell Medical Center, currently strictly a COVID-19 hospital, said he felt confident he wouldn't get the disease because he took simple precautions, washed his hands, and so forth. This is what he said about how you can catch COVID-19.
The way that you get this is the transmission of the virus almost exclusively from your hands to your face. From your hands to your face. And so it's either into your eyes, into your nose, or into your mouth. So there's a lot of talk about contact or getting it through contact, hands to face. There's also a small thought that it can be aerosolized, that it can kind of exist a little bit in the air. The thought at this point is that you actually have to have very long, sustained contact with someone. And I'm talking about over 15 to 30 minutes in an unprotected environment, meaning you're in a very closed room without any type of mask, for you to get it that way. But to very simply state, the overwhelming majority of people are getting this by physically touching someone who has this disease or will develop it in the next 1 to 2 days, and then touching their face.
So, there you have it. This is good news, wouldn't you say? If Dr. Price is right, it means people can relax knowing what to do to avoid getting the disease. You know, wash your hands, try not to touch your face, but it also means they can relax some of these crazy rules. In El Granada, California, I witnessed people parking their cars on streets of El Granada because the parking lots by the beaches were closed down, forcing beachgoers to walk across Highway 1 to reach the beach. And I didn't see anyone get cited or fined for going to the beach, but the new rules actually endangered people's lives by making them cross a highway, sometimes where there was no traffic light. People are getting tired of the lockdown. I understand that. That's no secret. The natives are getting restless. It's true. But look at this article, this Sun article here. In New York and New Jersey, the Sun reports, May 17th, 2020, people are ignoring the rules related to the coronavirus and flocking to beaches and bars around New York on Saturday, ignoring coronavirus lockdown rules as city officials warned of a rebound spike in cases due to quarantine fatigue. So there you have the narrative. Be afraid, be very afraid. But people grow weary of the boy who cried wolf. And Dr. Fauci, Dr. Deborah Birx all gave dire warnings, saying millions may die if we don't take precautions, and only about 100,000 to 200,000 people will die if we do. It's hovering the number of deaths in America around 100,000 right now. It'll soon probably be around 100,000 by their count, but I suspect those numbers are being inflated. I'll provide a link below to my story on two doctors working in Kern County, California, who talk about how they were encouraged to inflate the number of coronavirus cases and deaths from coronavirus, even if there were other morbidities involved, to increase the clinic's funding. A growing number of people are beginning to wake up to the reality the rules for masks are a bunch of bogus nonsense and have nothing to do with the science and everything to do with making you obey their crazy, sometimes crazy rules. The way I see it, more and more people are going to simply disobey the protocols, and normal law-abiding citizens are going to be turned into criminals, while hardened criminals are being released from prison, only to reoffend again right away in some cases. According to Breitbart, Mayor Bill de Blasio told the press on Monday that New York City is seeing some recidivism, you know what that is, repeat offenders, from a small percentage of the inmates released due to the novel coronavirus pandemic. Always blame the pandemic, never their mistaken policies. At least 50 of the 1,500 inmates cut loose amid fears of the spread of the COVID-19 behind bars in recent weeks have already landed back in jail, and in some cases were set free again, according to police sources and records. The headline over at the Tampa Bay Times is, "Man released from jail due to coronavirus, then committed murder," deputies say. And this from the Daily Caller. 37 minutes later, inmate released from jail due to coronavirus keep getting arrested again. And in Oakland, California, police officers arrested 32-year-old Rocky Music on Sunday for allegedly carrying out one carjacking and attempting another, less than an hour after he was released in relation to another alleged car theft, thanks to an emergency court order forbidding so-called low-level offenders from being booked into county jails due to coronavirus fears. It took him just 37 minutes after his release to start committing crimes again, according to local authorities. Should anyone be, astonished by this? Granted, these are isolated incidents, but they add up to a policy that makes no sense and hasn't proven to work in stopping the virus in any quantifiable way, and in fact may have caused more harm. And who will the people blame when crime goes up? The politicians in power? Let's hope so. The Democrats? Yes. That control states with the worst lockdown measures? As Chuck Schumer said to Donald Trump, elections have consequences. Thanks. That's it for me. And you can reach me at mountaincharlie@sbcglobal.net. That's my email address. My website is mojomorningblogspot.com.